Hey there. In front of you is another question from the Indian Economic Service. So, this question is about elasticity of demand and cross price elasticity of demand. Okay, so to begin with, let's just have a look at the first question. Here, they have asked you to show that the elasticity of demand is same at all points on the demand curve, and this is the function that is given. Now, same at all points means we have to show that the value of elasticity, own price elasticity, is something constant. Okay, so let's first write down the formula for own price elasticity. So the formula for own price elasticity is percentage change in quantity demanded of X divided by percentage change in price of X. So that is basically, numerically, we can write down it as dx by dp into p by x, where p and x are the initial price and quantity demanded. So this is our formula. Now, we are given x is equals to a p to the power minus alpha, right? And a and alpha are parameters constants. Now, the first step is to find out the derivative dx by dp. So, dx by dp is equals to a into minus alpha p to the power minus alpha minus 1. Now, let's use this formula to find out the value. So, EP is equals to dx by dp is how much? This one, that is this value. A, let's say minus a into alpha into p to the power minus alpha minus 1. Okay? Now, into p by x, right? So, let's just say let the p be as it is, and in place of x, we have to write down the value of x from the demand function, that is a p minus alpha, right? So we get a gets cancelled and alpha into p. So alpha into p to the power minus alpha minus 1 by, here we can write down minus alpha minus 1, right? This here. So this and this also gets cancelled. So the mod value of EP is alpha. Because I'm not going to consider the minus sign units, which is constant. Therefore, elasticity is same at all points of the given demand curve. So this is the first part. Now let's quickly solve the second part of the question asked. The second part you have asked, consider the demand function of two goods x1 and x2 respectively. Okay, so you're given x1 and x2. So x1 and x2 are the goods and the prices are p1 and p2 respectively. So you have to say what type of related goods it is. Okay, related goods. Related goods means either substitute or complements. Okay, competitive means substitutes or not. So let's figure out. So in order to find out, I will just write it here because we have space here, right? So what is it given? Okay. So it is given x1. Let's first differentiate x1 with respect to p2, right? Because price of one commodity and the demand for the other commodity. So if demand is x1, then I should see the change with respect to price of the second commodity p2. So delta x1 by delta p2 is equals to p1 to the power minus 0.7 into 0.2 into p2 to the power minus 0.8, right? So this is positive. This is positive means what? When price of the second commodity increases, demand for the second commodity decreases. As a result, this shift and X1 increases. So the change in P2 and the change in demand for X1 commodity is positively related, and so X1 and X2 are definitely substitute goods. So we will check with the second function also here. So now we will check X2 with respect to X1, that is del X2 by delta P1 is equals to 0.6 P1 to the power minus 0.4 into P2 to the power minus 0.4. So again, this is positive. That means as the price of P1 increases, people consumes less of X1 and shifts to X2. As a result, the demand for X2 increases. So change in the price of one commodity and the demand for the other commodity is positively related. So definitely X1 and X2 both are competitive, that is substitute goods. So that is the answer.